Hmm. All right, I'm live on YouTube. Twitch still a big no on that. However, it looks like it'll start soon. So yeah, okay. I am Multi Apples. I'm live on Twitch and YouTube now. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope you're all having a good day. I'm playing some Jeopardy. Got some drinks with me. I got some Diet Mountain Dew and some Nestle Lemon Splash. So yeah. Won't be talking a whole lot in my stream, but yeah. Sorry, my nose is itched. Let's go shits. Ah, shoot. Got that wrong. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn off my mic actually.
Here's the correct response. Ropes. Player 1, choose again. The submarine USS Nautilus was the first ocean-going vessel to use...
Okay, I just need to make some changes to my YouTube stream. Give me a moment. Hold on.
this form of power. It's player 1. Correct. Player 1, pick again. Like a famous mister of song, it was the nickname of tap dancer Bill Robinson. Okay, player 1. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Bojangles. Player 1, choose again. Emmanuel Goldenberg was the real name of the Robinson who used this first name on the stage. Let's hear it, player 1. No, that's not right. Anyone else? Here's the correct response. Edward. Please pick again, player 1. In 1798, this cotton gin inventor began using a system of interchangeable parts to make muskets for the U.S. government. Okay, player 1. That's right. Way to go. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. This Motown legend co-wrote My Girl, and Tears of a Clown. Let's hear it, player one. Yep, you're out of the hole. Please pick again, player one. In 1951, he defeated Jake LaMotta to become middleweight boxing champ. It's player one. Yeah! That's right, way to go. Player one, pick again. No Brontes, just Dantes. Got sent off to Deef. But with Danglers, that Danglers, he had a big beef. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. In England, this dish, bread dipped in an egg and milk batter and fried, is called Poor Knights of Windsor. Yes, player one? No. Anyone else? The correct response is French toast. Select again. In 1890, a woman named Nancy Green represented this character, the symbol for a pancake mix. Okay, player one. Yes. Player one, you pick again, please. In 1938, chemist Roy Plunkett invented polytetrafluoroethylene, a non-stick substance better known as this. Okay, player one. Yeah! Player one, back to you for Martha Costin invented the Costin This, a device for signaling at sea in the 1850s. Player one. Yes! You get to pick again, player one. Walter Deemer with the Fleer Company invented the first commercially successful type of this chewing gum in 1928. Player one. Good. Yeah! We return. In 1879, James A. Ritty invented this machine, and retailers have been ringing up sales ever since. Okay, player one. Good for you. Player one. Pick again. In 1947, he shattered baseball's color line. Player one. Right. Select again. This large tube-shaped pasta is often stuffed with cheese and baked with a tomato sauce. Player one. No. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, player two. Nope. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player three. Correct. Player three, you start us off. This breakfast meat comes in links or patties, and its name is from the Latin for salted. It's player one. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. Sausage. Please pick again, player three. The name of this breakfast item is also used as a verb meaning to speak or write evasively. It's player one. sorry. Any other takers? Okay, player 3. Correct. We return to you, player 3. Answer: the Daily Double. You're in second now, but with an opportunity to catch up a bit. Player 3, okay, here is the clue. This fancy egg dish is said to have been created at Delmonico's in the 1800s. Even then, hollandaise sauce was used. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. Eggs Benedict. Player 3, you pick again, please. In 1838, the Sirius became the first steamship to cross this ocean using steam power alone. Okay, player 1. Good for you. Player 1, you're in command of... Before its name was changed, this ship of Sir Francis Drake was known as the Pelican. Let's hear it, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Any other takers? Here's the correct response. Golden Hind. Please pick again, player
Apollo
1. Apollo 15's command module was named in honor of this ship commanded by Captain James Cook. Okay, player 1. No, that's not right. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player 2. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player 3? Yep. Player 3, you start. A mechanical device used to indicate musical tempo. Yes, player 1? Hey, you're right. Player 1, McFly agaric is one of these spore-producing fungi of the Basidiomycetes class. Player 1? Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is a mushroom. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Someone who moves from relationship to relationship is a serial one. Let's hear it, player 1. Good. Select again. So on again, from Laputa to Glubdubgrib. I'm giving up something a flubdubgrib. Yes, player 1? Yeah! You get to pick again, player 1. Hester looked at the frock. She looked in dismay. Do you have it in something other than A? Let's hear it, player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. The Scarlet Letter. Player 1, you pick again, please. I sat there with Winston. We sat there, we two. But when busted for thought crime, I knew I was through. Yes, player 1? That is correct. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. George said, "No, Lenny, no, I won't get you a guppy. You think I've forgotten what you did to that puppy?" Yes, player 1? Good. Player 2 is going first in the Double Jeopardy round, which starts after this. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? The musical Les Mis didn't debut on Broadway, but in this city, its setting. Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. Player 1, you start us off. Answer, the first of the Daily Doubles. You are currently in the lead. How much are you going to wager, player 1? Here is your clue. There's a method behind his founding of the Moscow Art Theater with Nemirovich Danchenko. That puts you even further ahead. Track and field, 29 feet, 2.5 inches. Let's hear it, player 1. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Player 2. That is correct. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? Baseball, 4,192 hits. Okay, player 1. Yes. Where do we begin, player 1? Stoneflies belong to the order Plecoptera, which means pleated this. Okay, player 1. That is correct. Please pick again, player 1. Back in the 19th century, ladies didn't faint, but did this 5-letter synonym. Let's hear it, player 1. No. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Swoon. You get to pick again, player 1. In 1909, Louis Blériot became the first person to fly in a plane over this, between Great Britain and France. Player 1? Right. We return to you, player 1. Football, 63 yards. Okay, player 1. Correct. You get to pick again, player 1. Hitting a speed of about 800 miles per hour, Chuck Yeager broke this barrier in October of 1947. Yes, player 1? Good for you! Player 1. As a noun, it's a synonym for flower. As a verb, it's to blossom or come into one's own. It's player 1. You are correct. You get to pick again, player 1. Sitka is the largest city in this state's Alexander Archipelago. It's player 1. Right you are. Select again. The finest singers among species of this insect are the tree type, not the house or field type. It's player 1. Correct. We return to you. 2 common shorthorn species of this in North America are the lubber and eastern lubber. Yes, player 1? Oh, no! Anyone else? Here's the response we were looking for. The grasshopper. We return to you, player 1. Baseball, 2,131 consecutive games. Okay, player one. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Player three? That's right. Way to go. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player three. Synonyms for crowd include throng, flock, and this word that can also mean an infatuation. It's player one. Yes. Player one, start us. Hockey, 92 goals. Player one? You got it. Player one. It reached Texas from Mexico around 1890 and spread into most cotton-growing areas of the United States. It's player one. Yes. We return to you. Answer. The other daily double. And you have the lead. Please enter your wager. Here is your clue. Like 1990, 2007 was a year when these noisy insects famously swarmed the Midwest. That puts you even further ahead. Player one, choose again. This Pacific Island country is named for a British sea captain, not Happy Days producer Gary. Okay, player one. Good. You get to pick again, player one. This synonym for to seclude is also a word for part of a monastery or convent. It's player one. Yeah! Hey, you're right. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This Portuguese archipelago once served as a stop for the treasure galleons returning to Spain from America. Yes, player one? Right. Player one, back. Let's get Jimmy's assistance on this clue.
Performers in this traditional Japanese art of singing and dancing wear elaborate stylized makeup.
Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
Player one, choose again. He directed a landmark Chinese production of his play Death of a Salesman at the People's Art Theater in Beijing. Okay, player one. That's not it. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. Arthur Miller. You again, player one. In 1965, the Cook Islands became self-governing in free association with this country that provides for their defense. Player one? Yes. Please pick again, player one. In 1907, Paul Cornu became the first man to fly freely in one of these horizontally rotored aircraft. It's player one. No. Oh! Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about a helicopter. Player one, choose again. Taking 16 hours in 1919, British aviators Alcock and Brown became the first to cross this large body of water non-stop. It's player one. No. Oh! Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. The Atlantic Ocean. We return to you, player one. A Dutch TV reality show picked the muscular swinger for the European run of this Disney musical. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Player one, pick again. August 1983 saw the first night launch of this reusable U.S. orbital vehicle. Yes, player one? Player one, choose again. In court, you won't hear a lawyer say remonstrance, but this synonym. It's player one. You are correct. And we'll wrap up the board with this clue. This Scottish archipelago is famous not only for its ponies, but also for a breed of dog. Okay, player one. That's right, way to go. Sorry, player two. Looks like you will not be continuing on to Final Jeopardy. Final Jeopardy still to come, and here's the category. Animals. You need to select your wager. Now it's time for the Final Jeopardy clue, and here it is. The genus of this Asian animal is Ailuropoda, and its species name, appropriately, is Melanoleuca. Did you come up with the correct response? Sorry, that incorrect response will drop your score by... And your response? And this correct response will add how much to your score? Yeah! You've come out ahead as our champion, player one. So long.